welcome back to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where we recap everything CBS soaps, both the young and the restless, and the bold and the beautiful. And this is your recap video for August 2nd, 2022, and a lot happened in this episode. The autopsy report for Ashland Locke is revealed, while Victor puts a little threat to nosy Adam Newman on the table because he's pissing him off. And we got a lot of other things to talk about. But before we do, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. Turn on your notifications and don't forget to like and share. So over at Crimson Lights, we had Chance filling Kevin about this whole complicated investigation of Ashland. And he wanted Kevin to kind of butter up to the medical examiner. That way he can kind of get his hands on that autopsy report faster and analyze the data. Now, over at Society, Victor gets good news over the phone, especially since things went over smoothly when the security team, who was interviewed by the cops, Victor seems satisfied for now. Now, Adam arrives just before Victor hangs up, but Noah shows up and speak to Victor first. Now, that brings us to this conversation that Noah had about this whole nightclub proposal. And, I mean, as much as Victor seemed like he was really interested, he really gave him props for being a Newman and an open-minded thinker and a businessman. Well, he turned him down, and he gently turns him down, rejecting the idea since he wants to keep the top of the tower as a fully functioning restaurant. So now afterward, Noah goes over to meet up with Allie at the GCAC rooftop. Now, once Noah admits Victor did finally turn him down, Allie offers a reminder about the Summer Newman space where over at the Grand Phoenix where her mom owns the building. This is when we see how Noah gets news about Ashland Locke's death and wonder why dear old grandpa didn't break the news to him during the conversation that they had earlier, which at this point leaves him very, very suspicious and concerned since he knows how Victor operates. And the crazy thing is, Allie was trying to talk him out of the one person that knows his grandfather the most. I didn't get that. Anywho, Noah did end up telling her, especially after she kept trying to say, oh, he's not that bad, about the time that Victor orchestrated this whole hostile takeover, and that, it's going to be a matter of time until Victor is upset with the Abbotts again, and Noah thinks that Allie could get caught up in the crossfire, which he was definitely just trying to say, hey, don't get too comfortable and think, even though he can be a nice guy, he can come for you too. And Allie does contend that she doesn't scare easily and won't run away from Noah when things are getting so good between them. So as we see, they're growing closer and they share another kiss. So let's head back to Society because Adam finally approaches Victor's table and mentions his run-in with Chance, who suggested that he should skip his little Vegas trip and stay in town to support the family who don't support him. Go figure. Now, Adam will note that Chance hinted about the car crash as being the quote-unquote official version, leading to questions about whether there might been another end to Ashland's true story. Now, after Adam mentions Victor getting a happy ending out of all of this, he'll, kind of have this sarcastic guess that it was just this crazy coincidence. That's when Adam said that, Victor was like, you beginning to piss me off. And that's not a good idea to do. And I'm like, you've already pissed Adam off. So now he's pissed off at you. It's going nowhere with that. Adam will point out that Ashland is now dead. So that means that the threat is gone. And since Victor isn't acting like it, that leaves Adam a little curious about dear old dad, I should say. Victor will warn Adam that he's a Newman. And you better remember it. And after Victor kind of scurries out of there, Adam gazes through this window, looking at him very pensively because he know that there's more than meets the eye. And it always is more than meets the eye when it comes to Victor Newman. But yeah, it's going to blow up. You can tell that there's more to this story, and believe me, Adam is going to figure it out. The question is will he use it to his advantage? And more than likely, Adam is definitely going to get some leverage in this situation, and I'm here for it. So over at Newman Enterprises, Sally Spectra shows up, and she tells Nick how she's changed her mind and that she's going to remain as Newman Media CEO. Sally is going to thank Nick for being so candid, but he thinks that he owes her an apology for being so blunt. And I'm like, girl, why did you even sign up for this nonsense? You just because you were in for the moment don't mean that it's all gonna work out. Well, after Sally gets this whole notification about Ashland's death, then she started pumping Nick for details. Now, Sally is going to wonder how Victoria is doing with all of this information. So Nick goes in talking about she's on a trip with the kids, causing Sally to kind of look like, what? Now, Nick is going to counter that trip was planned weeks ago and call Sally out for insinuating there was something else by the way she was looking. After he gave a whole story about it and being that it's complicated, he wants Sally to have all this stay off the record. All of a sudden, Sally wants to be his confidant and be there for him since he was there for her. And then he gets that text message from Chance about meeting up, which pushes him to push Sally out the door. And, Sally like, okay, I'll stick to reporting the facts when it comes to Ashland. So, he can count on her. The question is Sally going to be true to her word? I mean, as much as they seem to be pretty cool with each other in the moment, you can tell by the look on Sally's face when she stepped out of that office. She was in deep thought because she obviously know that they're up to something. She's a schemer herself, so she knows something is going on and she's not getting the whole truth. So over at the coffee house patio, Nick runs over to meet Chance after getting that text. Chance give Nick updates and mention how the security team members lined up their stories a little too perfect, almost like they were reading from a script. And that's a huge red flag for Chance. That would be a huge red flag for anybody, since Victor's employees spoke so carefully, but Nick is going to just brush it off. Nick know what's up. Nick will also complain about Ashland still causing all this chaos, even in death. And Chance is going to argue that he just want to cut through the chaos. But Nick is going to act like Victor is the one that he needs to be talking with and not him. And I mean, honestly, Nick has been 110% honest with Chance. So he was absolutely correct about that by saying, go talk to my pops, because anything else, it ain't got nothing to do with me. So we're going to see if Chance is going to dig even deeper in this situation. And knowing Chance and him being the cop that he is, more than likely he will. And this is probably going to come back to hit Nick right in the face while he's storming out of there acting like he's been offended by all of this. But yeah, dear old dad is actually making this a lot worse for his own son, in my opinion. So later on, we see Kevin run back to the coffee house with this big old smile on his face because he was able to finesse a copy of that autopsy report very fast. And Chance gets a chance to take a look at the copy that was sent to his phone and see that Ashland did die of blunt force trauma to the head. But the report also noted that Ashland wasn't wearing his seatbelt and was pitched forward into the windshield. Now, Chance reads that the blow delivered enough force that the death would be instantaneous. Now, once Chance mulls it over, he'll ask if the medical examiner could tell definitively if the fatal injury was caused by the actual crash impact. Now, Kevin is like, yeah, but the medical examiner did say it was a possibility. She wouldn't go as far as saying that that's definitely what happened, though. Now, Chance insists that he doesn't have an agenda. You're right. But he talked about trying to evaluate the evidence as it comes to the correct conclusion, which leads Chance recapping this whole story of Nick's fight with Ashland, who hit his head on the fireplace after Nick punched him. And so Kevin is like, so that's your theory? And Nick threw the punch that killed Ashland Locke? And if it did, how the hell did that guy get up and wind up dead in a ravine, which is what Chance asked him? So it's going to be pretty interesting. I mean, the spoilers did say that Chance is going to continue to work to uncover all of the facts of the case. So we definitely don't want to miss what's in store. And yeah, I'm pretty interested to see what, could happen here, but I can guarantee you one thing, Victor gotta be behind it. So there you have it. That's your Young and the Restless recap for August 2nd, 2022. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the recap for The Bold and the Beautiful for August 2nd as well. And until the next video, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. And don't forget to like and share. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.